All right, so in this lesson, we are going to explore three different options for acquiring property: buying, leasing, or renting. So before we get going, some important terms. Renting. So if you rent something, you're basically paying someone, whether it's an individual, corporation, etc., for the use of something, whether it's a car, living space, um, whatever. So if we rent things, we don't own them. You cannot build up equity, okay, and you do have to pay for the use. Um, a lease is different than renting because a lease is a contract for purchasing the use of property, whether it's real estate or a vehicle, for example, for a specified period of time in the contract. And usually leases will have an option to purchase at the end of the lease. And of course, buying is buying, right? So you can buy something, you can take a loan out to buy it. As soon as you have bought it, then it is an asset of yours, and you can build up equity as you pay off the loan. So it's very important that buying is the only way that you can actually get owner's equity in anything. And that should be pretty obvious, okay? Equity is the difference between the value of something that you own and the balance remaining on the loan that you took out to pay for it. So you can only build up equity if you buy something. Quick review. Appreciation is if the value of an asset increases over time, and depreciation is if the value of an asset decreases. Disposable income is another important term here. Disposable income is known as the amount of income you have left over after you've deducted all your regular expenses. So bills, groceries, that kind of thing, and also your taxes have been taken off. So anything that's left over after that is known as your disposable income. Okay, so we are going to look at an example here of making a decision on to buy, lease, or rent a vehicle. Now, this is a contrived example, but it is going to help us explore the options. So here's the context. You have just started your new job and you need a vehicle for work. And on average, you work 12 days each month. Okay, so that's how often you need the vehicle. You have been renting a car when you need it, but you're exploring your best options. So there are three options here: lease the vehicle, buy the vehicle, or continue to rent the vehicle. So are we going to buy, are we going to lease, or are we going to rent? So to help us make our decision, we would want to find the total cost, okay? The total cost of doing this. So I'm gonna actually change this. So this is the cost per month. We could figure that out, yes. So we'll look at the cost per month, but we will find the total cost of leasing, buying, and renting. Okay, so we'll start with the lease. Now, notice that the only one that has a TVM in it is the buying option, because you can only take a loan out to buy. If you lease, that is not a loan. That is a contract that you are agreeing to pay for the use of the property, whatever the property is. So there is no TVM for leasing. There is no TVM for renting, just for buying. Very, very important. So let's look at the cost. So the first thing we have to do is down payment of $4,000. Okay, so that would be $4,000 down payment. Okay. Monthly lease payments are $380. So that's fixed. So $380. We're going to times it by the total number of months. So we're looking at a 4-year lease. Okay. So 4 years, 12 months per year. So we'll times it by 4 years times 12. Okay, and we will get the total cost, or sorry, the total amount of lease payments. So 380 times 4 times 12 is $18,240. So $18,240, and that would be total lease payment. Good. So we've got the $4,000. We've got the total lease payments. What's next? Next is insurance. Okay, so if you're going to lease a vehicle, you need insurance of $1,220 per year. and you figure $50 a month for maintenance and repair. So a lot of lease agreements, you can get the repairs covered, but lease agreements don't cover everything. So we're going to budget $50 a month for maintenance and repair, and the non-negotiable insurance of $1,220 per year, and that's paid monthly. Okay, so the insurance then would be $1,220 times 4. $48.80. So that's insurance. And then you've got $50 times 4 years times 12 months per year for maintenance and repair. 50 times 12 times 4 is $2,400 maintenance and repair. So from this, we can get the total cost of leasing. It would be the $4,000 plus the $18,240 plus $48.80 plus $2,400. So 4,000 plus 18,240 plus 4880 plus 2,400 is $29,520. $29,520. Okay, so that's for leasing. Now we can figure out the total monthly cost then. We'll do that right now. So monthly cost then, total monthly cost, can't spell, would be your $29,250 divided by 48 months, right? I'm assuming you know that 4 times 12 was 48. So the total monthly cost, you would divide that total by 48 and you get $615 per month. Notice that it's a lot different than just a straight up lease payment of $380. You got to factor in the insurance and the maintenance and repair. So the total cost per month leasing, is $615 per month. Okay, so that's leasing. Again, to recap, we factored in our down payment. We factored in our total lease payments, insurance, maintenance, and repair, got the total cost, and then divided that by 48. Notice we did include the 4,000 here because that's going to spread out over the 48 months. So that does work out to be the total cost because you did pay that 4,000 upfront. So we would include that in the in the cost per month if we were comparing. Okay, so to buy. If we buy the vehicle, we have the purchase price, so $32,800, standard car, maybe a nice vehicle for that amount of money. We don't know the monthly payment. We're going to solve for that. We'll set our FV to be 0. The interest rate is at 4.5%. Now, a lot of car loans will be 0% financing. That's a lot of, basically there's a lot of companies that are trying to get business for car loans, so they will offer the 0% financing. But if you don't make the payment, like if you don't pay off in the amount of time, then you have to actually pay more interest. And typically what people will do is that they will upgrade their cars. So after say 3 years of paying off the car, they want a new one. And so what they'll do is then to get a new vehicle, they'll take the amount that's remaining and then lump that in. So the companies make their money. If you want to be ahead of the game, take buy a vehicle, pay it off, and drive it until it breaks down. But most people want always to have new cars. So that's kind of how they make their money. We're doing 4-year term, paid monthly. So that would be periods 4 times 12, which is 48. The payment frequency is monthly, and I believe the compound frequency for this loan is monthly as well. Okay, so we can go to our easy financial calculator and figure out the monthly payment. So we have our purchase price, $32,800. We don't know our payments. Future value is 0. 4.5% is the interest rate. 48 months, monthly, compounding monthly. Let's make sure, yep. And we can solve the payment. And there is your monthly payment. You'll notice that it's more than, right now it's definitely more than the lease. Okay. All right, so the total cost then, we'll do the total cost after. The monthly cost, we have to figure this out because we still have to have the same insurance and maintenance costs. So we're gonna take this over. I'll just copy and paste that. Okay, because we still have to have the insurance and we still have to have the maintenance and repair. All right, so monthly cost is going to equal, if we take the 4,880 plus the 2,400 and then divide that by 12, we divide that by 48, and we can get the monthly cost for the insurance and the maintenance and repair. We'll cover that off. So we're going to go 4,880 plus 2,400 and divide that by 48. And your insurance and your maintenance and repair is $151.67. So 151.67. Okay, so the monthly cost of owning this car would be the monthly payment of $747.95. And then you have to add in the insurance and the maintenance and repair. So that would equal the sum. So 151.67 added to $747.95 is $899.62. $899.62. That would be the monthly cost of buying. So significantly more than the lease, but you would get the asset and you would be able to get the owner's equity here. And last, we'll cover off the rent. So rent is a daily fee of $40 per day plus a $9.99 insurance fee. That's assuming you buy it through the insurance company. I mean, through the rental company. You can go to MPI, and for example, in Manitoba, and you can buy a renter's insurance for driving. That would be cheaper than or less expensive than $9.99. But we'll use the $9.99 daily. So we have to figure out how many days over the 4 years is he renting. So on average, he's using the 12 days per month for 12 months times 4 years. So number of rental days equals 12 days per month times 12 months per year times 4. 12 times 12 times 4 would be 576 days. So the total rental costs then would be 576 days times the $40 fee plus $9.99. And we're excluding taxes, but that's fine. And we will get our total cost. So 576 times 40 plus 999, and we get $28,794.24. So 28,794.24. Okay, we can convert that to a monthly cost. Okay, by simply taking the total rental cost and divide it by the total number of months, which was 48. Take that total and we divide by 48, and you get $599.88. So 599.88 would be the total cost of renting per month. So now we have an apples to apples comparison. The cheapest, the least expensive would be renting, then the lease, and then the buying. So why would you want to rent? Well, if you want to save money, there you go, $599.88. But that's based on using the car 12 days a month. You can't use it if you want to use it more than then. And renting, you have to rent. So clearly, if you're going to use it more than 12 days, you want to lease or buy it. So at least with leasing and buying, you can drive it every day. But with leases, typically with the leasing vehicles, there is a kilometer restriction. So if you put on more kilometers than is in your contract, you get charged a fee per kilometer, which can be quite significant, like up to 15 cents per kilometer. If you buy the vehicle, it is the most expensive, but you have the most options. You can drive it as much as you want, and you own it, so it's an asset, and you can build up owner's equity. Okay, so that would probably be the main reason for buying, would be that you get the owner's equity. There is unlimited kilometers. Leasing, it would be if you don't want to, for the most part, worry about repair. But again, a word of caution, a lot of lease agreements, there's a lot of things that are excluded in the repair portion that if it's not covered, then you have to pay for it yourself, which adds on to the cost. Leasing could also be if you don't want to actually commit to the loan. So here you're only committing to the 4-year lease. All right. If you want a new vehicle at the end, and if it's not paid off, you're just paying per month, and you can get a new vehicle, or you have the option to purchase. Here, you're kind of locked in during the 48 months, 48 payments of the loan. So you can't just walk away from it. But again, you can't just walk away from a lease either, because it is a contract. So it can be very subtle, the differences between whether you should buy or lease. Again, the cost of buying is usually going to be more, okay? But you do have that asset. The vehicle is yours as an asset. If you lease a vehicle, you cannot include it as an asset because you don't own it. You're just paying for the use of it. So that's important to note. Okay, so that pretty much covers off buying, leasing, or renting. We have a second example here. For buying versus leasing an appliance, so a furnace. So we'll kind of take a look at this example now. So the 9-year-old furnace in Tim's home stopped working, so he needs a new one, especially if he lives in Manitoba. Tim works for minimum wage, and after paying his monthly expenses, he has $35 disposable income left per month, which is not a lot. He has an unused credit card that charges 18.7% compounded daily, and he's looking at 2 options. 1, he could lease the furnace from his utility company for $17.25 per month, and this would include parts and service. Or he could buy the furnace for $712.99 plus an installation fee of $250 using his credit card, and he can pay no more than $35 per month. So we'll do the buying first to compare, because obviously what we're gonna do is figure out how long it's going to take Tim to pay off his credit card. Okay. So we have to include the installation fee. So the PV will equal $712.99 plus $250. 712.99 plus 250 is $962.99. So $962.99. Okay. His payment, he can pay no more than 35 per month. So negative 35. FV is 0. The rate on this credit card up here was 18.7%. Compounding daily. He's paying monthly. And we want to solve for the number of payments that he'll have to make. And then we can get the total cost afterwards. Okay, so we'll go to our TVM solver and we'll reset it. So the PV is $962.99. Payment negative 35. Future value 0. Annual rate 18.7. Compounding daily. And he's making monthly payments. And so we'll figure out the number of payments he has to make. 36.31 or 37. 36 full payments and 1 partial payment. So he has to make 36.31 payments to pay off the furnace. So the total cost would be 36.31 multiplied by his payment of $35. Figure out how much he's going to pay for the furnace in total. Okay, so that's how many payments he makes, and we multiply it by his monthly payment. So 36.31 times 35 yields $1,270.85. So $1,270.85. Okay, so that's how much he pays if he's going to buy it on his credit card. All right, the other option is that he can lease the furnace from his utility company for $17.25 per month, and this would include parts and service. So notice out on the second option, the buying, there is no parts and service, so that might be a drawback from buying. So the leasing, especially on his limited income here, let's take a look at what he'll do. So we'll take a look then at the cost. So if he was going to be, we'll round this up to 37 months. So if he was going to be leasing it for 37 months times $17.25 per month, you'll see it's going to be significantly less than the buying. So 37 times 17.25, $638.25. Okay, so that would be how much you would have to pay through leasing. $638.25 total. Okay, and then for buying it, he would be paying over double, $1,270.85. Interesting. Let's see how much interest he would have to pay. It'd be $1,270.85 and subtract $962.99. $1,270.85, and we'll subtract $962.99, $307.86. That's a significant amount of interest that he has to pay over that period of time. Clearly, he's on a limited income here with only $35 disposable. So I personally, if I was Tim, I would take the lease. Okay, it's paying half, okay, of what he would if he's buying it. So what option would I recommend for Tim? Tim should lease the furnace from his utility company. Why? He pays significantly less compared to buying a new furnace on his credit card. Okay, so in this option, most of the, like this $307 is going to a credit card company. So he needs that extra money. So he should definitely lease it. So he should lease it, and he should do that because, of course, he pays less compared to buying. Okay, there is another example here of buying versus renting a house. And I will let you guys work on that one, and I will put the answers up on my website in a couple of days. So just as a recap, we've gone over buying versus renting versus leasing. Again, renting is short-term use you're paying for, but there's no, you're not committed to it. If you just need a car for a day, then rent it, okay? A lease is a contract where you are agreeing to purchase the use of something over a period of time. And typically for vehicles anyways, they will cover a lot of different types of repairs, but not everything. And buying, of course, is the only option that gives you the ability to build up owner's equity, and actually list the property as an asset. So that would be sort of the big deal for buying if you are going to, consider buying versus leasing versus renting. All right, so hope that makes sense to you guys. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me.